You know, when we talk about social media, some of us think that's for kids. Let me talk about the strategy in a social economy, how to dominate the marketplace and how to make sure that you don't lose your brand because of screw-ups that happen. I'm John Tschohl. Let me give you some examples in terms of what's happening out there in the world right now. I'm traveling everywhere in the world, and what I find is that hotels and restaurants, you know, they spend a lot of money on advertising, and I don't think most of us customers really believe what we read, but we trust what other people say. So TripAdvisor is a company that has 69 million users a month. They're in 30 different countries, 75 million reviews and opinions, 40,000 reviews of hotels and restaurants worldwide. They have 21 new posts a minute. They average 300 reviews for each hotel, and they have a 53% year-on-year growth. Now, here's the interesting thing about TripAdvisor. When my daughter goes with us on trips, she makes a decision where we're going to go, and it's all based on TripAdvisor. We went to China in March, stayed at a Holiday Inn, based on one person who was there. This guy was so incredible. So incredible. It was unbelievable, okay? He was like our personal concierge. So what we need to understand is the power of the service strategy. Let's just take TripAdvisor. When somebody puts a review on, it's there for years. I was in Panama about 3 weeks ago, stayed at some fancy resort that had probably the worst customer service I'd ever seen. I put a review on TripAdvisor. Within 3 days, 1,200 people had read the review. If we look at Facebook, global audience of over 900 million users. Frankly, by the time you watch this video, it could be 1 billion users, and then 2 billion users. Over 50% of the population in the United States is using Facebook. Average user has 130 friends. So what does that mean? It means that when somebody goes to your place of business and service sucks, a whole lot of people may find out about it. And on the other hand, if you provide incredible customer service, thousands of people can hear about it. There's over 350 million active users currently using Facebook through their mobile devices. More than 50% of our active users log on any given day. More than 70 languages available on Facebook. Twitter, 200 million active users, over 107 million just in the United States. Let me tell you why Facebook, TripAdvisor, all of the different social media is critical. If you don't have empowerment and you don't have service recovery right now, you're dead, because when you make a mistake, and I guarantee you that every one of us, sometime during the day, is going to screw something up. Something's going to go south, opposite of what we want. Give you an example. There's a little bitty company called Netflix. July 13, 2011. The stock was valued at $304.79. They announced a 60% price increase. Now, let me tell you why they got away with that. Is that the CEO had been on the front cover of Fortune magazine. The price of the stock was climbing and climbing and climbing. And the CEO, I'm sure, thought he was talking to God every day. Well, after the price increase, because of social media, people got upset, and millions of people canceled Netflix. It was the talk of the town that on August 6th, the stock was valued at $56.79 a share, an 81% reduction in value. They lost over $15 billion in market value. Let me tell you what, if you don't understand the social media, if you don't understand the social economy right now, you could lose your organization, the value of your company in just seconds. Days, minutes, all based because you didn't understand empowerment, you didn't understand how to respond quickly. Another example, Bank of America, small little bank, one of the largest banks in the United States, by the way. Little Molly Catchpole, 22 years old, had $2,200 to her name. Bank of America, with their arrogance, because again, the CEO, the management team, the board were talking to God every day. And they announced a $5 monthly debit card fee. That means if you're going to use your debit card, they're going to charge you $5 a month. And then they announced that they would waive that fee if you had $20,000 in your accounts. Well, my thought was that that would probably eliminate 80% of their customers. And if you eliminated 80% of the customers, they could probably eliminate 80% of their workforce, and the value of the company would probably fall by 90%. 300,000 people signed Molly's petition. The backlash against this price increase, and finally Bank of America folded. See, what we got to understand is the power of the social economy. Now, let me give you a great example, which is Vail, Colorado. I mean, they understand the power of word-of-mouth advertising and the power of the social economy better than probably most organizations in the world. I happen to be a snow skier. So one of the most popular runs on Vail is called Born Free. Now, there's a lot of skiers that are not all that good. And so when once or twice a day they are looking for skiers on the mountain, on Born Free, that are struggling, that are just desperate, they're just having a heck of a time. And they come up to that individual and they give them a coupon for a free ski lesson worth $140. Now, here's the power of the word-of-mouth advertising and the social media. Think if that was you. I mean, you're desperate out there. You're not enjoying the skiing. You don't know quite well enough how to ski, and somebody comes up from Vail and they give you a free ski lesson worth $140. How many people will hear about that? My suspicion is it's going to be 100 to 200 to 300. Now, here's the interesting thing. What do you think the ski lesson costs them? Really nothing. They own the ski mountain. They just plug the person into another one of their group ski lessons, but they have this incredible word-of-mouth advertising. See, when we talk about the social media, there's 3 ways that we have to survive. Number 1 is you have to master service recovery. That means when you screw up, how do I make the customer whole? Okay. And all of that happens in 60 seconds. That means every single employee has to understand the power of service recovery. Number 2, you better be empowered. You better have people that can make very fast, very quick decisions within 60 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, to make sure that the customer is over happy. And then everything has to be built on speed. If you don't do those 3 things, you could be a Netflix, you could be a Bank of America, or on the other hand, if you understood the power of social media, you could be a Vail, the #1 ski resort in North America. So what's the difference between your organization and others? Are you going to master social media? Are you going to make sure that with this huge population around the world that is using social media, that is using Twitter, Facebook, all the new devices like TripAdvisor that are coming up, so that they create word-of-mouth advertising that's positive, that's exciting? Or are you going to let them destroy your organization? I'm John Tschohl. I challenge you to master the art of service, to understand the power of customer service, service recovery, empowerment, and speed, and making sure you keep your customers.